Iain Gray, followed by Annabel Goldie.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. On page 305 of the White Paper, it says that the Scottish Government would look to establish an oil fund immediately on independence to stabilise the economy. What it doesn't say is where the money for that fund will come from. So will it come from... No, it doesn't.
Order! Order! Let us hear the member. Order.
I think you'll find it doesn't say where the money for that fund will come from. So the question is, will it come from increased taxation? Will it come from cuts in public spending? Or do they seriously propose, as is rather implied, do they seriously propose to borrow the money to save in an oil fund in the world's biggest payday loan? Surely that's not the common sense so beloved of the Deputy First Minister.
Deputy First Minister.
Well, I would point out to Iain Gray that Norway established its oil fund some years before it started paying into the oil fund. In case he's forgotten this fact, Norway, independent Norway, now has an oil fund of £450 billion. That's one of the very big benefits of being independent. Now, in relation to Iain Gray's questions, the thing is, Iain Gray knows the answer to these questions, because I'm sure, being the careful, prepared person that he is, that he's read the Fiscal Commission's work on the oil fund. It proposes an oil fund with two purposes. One, to smooth the volatility of oil revenues. We would make a cautious forecast of oil revenues, and when the actual revenues exceed that, we would put the excess into an oil fund. And secondly, we would have an oil fund with the purpose of saving for future generations, something that Westminster governments over generations have failed to do, and we would start paying into that when the deficit reached a point below 3%. That is very, very clear. But you know, the key thing here is this: if we leave Westminster in charge, then the next however many years of our oil revenues will be squandered in the same way as the last 40 years have been squandered. If we are independent, we can steward them for the future. Yet another reason to vote yes and become independent.